So hi, this video is going to be all about different things that volunteers can do. And if you haven't registered yet already to be involved with this 3-month push called Unite for Clean Water, then you can find that on our website and register and then click in. And if you are already a registered Right to Clean Water ambassador, you don't have to re-register. We just want to make sure that we have positive control over, the signed petitions that you'll be, collecting or otherwise processing. However, there's a lot more that can be done and needs to be done. And so if you are not one of those people who love striking up conversations with complete strangers, we understand. Again, just to make the point, many of us are introverts and have developed the knack and the comfort level of talking with strangers because of practice. After your first couple, it actually is kind of refreshing to talk with people about something that's wonderful. It's almost like you're inserting more faith in the humanity type of thing. It's just a really good feeling. It's weird. But if you don't have time for that or otherwise don't feel like to do that, we just wanted to list off a few other things that goes into campaign operations that really require everyone to chime in and help out every once in a while, if and when they can. So with that, I just wanted to start listing, and everyone here is welcome to jump in and provide their perspective or their ideas or their thoughts about things like that. So in addition to collecting petition signatures, which is pretty much what the other videos are about, we have logistical support. All right, so Tom, if you would like to chime in regarding what that meant for Speak Up Titusville in your petition drive, what type of help did you need behind the scenes or otherwise?
Yeah, I think that was a wonderful intro. And one of the things that comes to mind is, how deep is your bench? In other words, the people that you have working with you, obviously you start out as 1 or 2 or 3, okay? And everybody's got different skills, okay? But then you realize that you're a team and you got to work together, okay? So we'll go out collecting petitions together and stuff like that. But it's good once people get engaged in the process, if they can sort of think about it as how deep is the bench? What skills can I develop as I'm doing this to help out? One area that I think is unique, okay, was what Wendy has referred to, and I refer to as QC. Okay, so the point being, many minds work together well because we can actually tease out some of these things that you may not see yourself. What event's going to work for us? Okay, if we can have a table at an event, that's fantastic. But we still, to make the most of it, should have people going out, okay, to the areas where, they're not going to see the table. They're not going to come by your table, I'll stop there because I kind of
that's great. I think that's important. And you bring up like preparing for events, not just setting up and breaking down type of efforts, but also learning about those events, the fact that those events exist, in time enough so that you can ask people to cover those events. So those, the people that can remain vigilant of community calendars, or understand that there's a really high, foot traffic type of farmers market or something like that happens every Saturday, or that type of intel is exactly where it's at, and
Right.
that will help again to save time, save resources, maximize your best bang for your buck type of thing. And so everyone is involved with that. So if a volunteer is interested in helping, researching community events, those type of that type of legwork is essential.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One very important logistical part that you just made me think about, and that's communicating with people. Not everybody's going to be available to come to your meeting, and we developed our own mailing list, you know, that we would send out. Okay, this is happening. Who can be there? Who can help out? Sort of keep everybody kind of engaged, and you're always requesting for, you know, some assistance kind of thing. Okay, so every week we did this coordination. We had a meeting. We debriefed from the last week, and we would develop our plan for this week. It would be communicated out. I would have calendars, you know, for the events, the various events, the time of the event, and all that good stuff. So obviously, if you can have people that are working together, the more the better, to do these different aspects, it helps out a great deal.
Yeah. Thank you. Wendy, did you have anything from your perspective and experience about what else people can help out with?
Thank you. Yeah, I'll segue from Tom's previous point about outreach. So I have a couple of points, but I'll jump from there. Outreach is really important, and it does take time. So yes, like finding the events, and I'll say that food truck events are really, really great because you have people that are like waiting online. You know, they're just kind of standing there, and they're usually in groups with their family or friends, and you can even talk to the kids when they get their parents, and all that. So that's another thing. But outreach, as far as like going into communities that aren't necessarily reached out to and enfranchised, and like faith groups and community organizations, and but just especially areas where, like, you know, people that just don't normally connect, that we could find a lot of support, and a lot of the times those are the areas that are most impacted by pollution and just bad things. So having somebody that can reach out to, again, faith groups, community organizations, anything like that, where you can go in and get the congregations and the groups of people and set up dates that you can have a representative go out and do education and just connect with the community. And I think even just making that connection, feeling a part of something together, and that goes with what Mel was saying about you know, even like you get the you know, as an introvert as well, like you have like a switch that flips on, like, all right, hi, I'm on my service space, and then you go behind the wall. You're like, okay, back to me again. But it's like, so you have that reinstilled faith in humanity, but you're also seeing the humanity that's out there, and so it's expanding your view and your like faith of knowing that you're not the only one, and there are so many other people that are on the same page. But you know, like public opinion isn't made aware of itself in that way, in the media they don't want us to know like how we really are having the power in the numbers. So there's the outreach, there's the communication, but also the communication in the sense of you know, having press releases, letters to the editor, where Joe, our leader, has made some really fantastic guidelines and content to help with that, and just to give our brains a break on trying to come up with everything on our own. There's a lot of great resources on the website already for anyone that might find a niche with writing or taking photographs, and just creating any kind of content or video. You can do data entry. I know Mel has a lot on her plate with just like tedious things that I wish I had more time to help with, and hopefully soon I will. But so we need people to help just you know, inserting data and copy and paste, and also verification. I mean, that's where I've mainly, because I've like, I'm again like kind of isolated with transportation where I'm at, so I find that my niche, and I mean, it'll take me hours sometimes to get through a stack of things, and not to sound like that's a lot, but I mean, for the people that are going out and doing the petitions, to know that they're not going to have to go through that whole stack themselves is a relief to them. So there's definitely a lot of ways to balance the weight of all the jobs that can be done. So it's essentially finding your niche, and where you think, you know, there's always a place for you. And just one other thing I'll say real quick that I've just reiterated for years, that you know, as activists and as just concerned citizens, like we always, you know, we see the enormity of everything, and it's very hard to be intimidated by that or feel overwhelmed and to feel like we're never doing enough, or that we just could never get to it all. And that's not the state of mind we want to be in. You know, it's feel grateful for the opportunity to be able to serve. You know, if you're able to get out there and do things, or whatever ability you have to give, just feel good that the fact that you're out there and you're concerned and you're connecting, and just stay in the light and be positive and share that light with others, and don't worry about what's not getting done, because that's not going to help anything. Like, we are making steps. The bucket's not going to get filled in one big drop. It's going to take millions and thousands and hundreds of little tiny drops, and just do the drops that you can and feel good about that, and spread that positivity, and don't think about the negative. Just focus on the positive and do what you can and feel good. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy. Joe, anything? Was that a sure? Because you're on mute, sir.
Sorry, because we've got trucks outside finally coming around, picking up all the debris that's been brought to the curb.
Yes.
I want to pick up on an important point that Wendy brought up, and that has to do with writing letters to editors in papers, both large and small. They are wonderfully effective. They are the most read section of newspapers. By the way, if you don't have a subscription to a newspaper, go out and get one. This way you can read the articles such as this. 5 out of 7 days a week, there's an article about water quality in Florida. This gives us a wonderful opportunity to get our message out. Very easy. In Water Scientists Discuss Human Risks in Waterways on November 3rd, talks about blah, blah, blah. Now is the time to go out and sign a petition for a right to clean water. Give the name of the article that you are referring to. Write cleanly. A letter of 200 words is absolutely prime. Editors are looking for opinions about issues like this. Take a little time, and also help you to refine your thoughts about our amendment, your understanding. Write those letters to editors.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. And I will end this with the thought that this is a very organic process. It's not going to be controlled. If people have an idea or have an opportunity, take advantage of that idea and opportunity, and make it happen. And if and when you're published, share it with us so we can share it out with others. Same thing goes with what Wendy said about content, any content, especially graphic. The images really matter. So if you have a video of anything that would be relevant and pertain to this movement, please let us know. Send it to us, share it with us, and we will somehow use it and promote it, or otherwise use it in a way to help deliver our message more articulately or otherwise. So, so the key is to connect in with your local operations. Okay, your regional coordinator will be able to introduce you to whomever is on your left and right in your county, and make sure everyone knows that, you know, if there is a leader, if there's an organization or a power hitter that is saying, I can do this for this county, I will help organize events, help prepare, manage volunteers and things like that. Whoever steps up to that plate, you can just make sure you're connected with that person or with that organization. Or you can be that organization or person. Either way, you just have to, the key is to make sure you're connected and you communicate with the people that are in your left and right, that are associated with this campaign. So you can do anything. There's a lot to do. And the whole key to this particular video is just keep your eyes open and, you know, volunteer for this or that, or let people know what you would like to do or what you can do when there's a need. It's that communication link that is going to be all important. Wendy, did you have something?
I did, thank you, and I didn't want to interrupt, but I did think of something else that is
Definitely.
actually very like close to me that I can't believe I didn't think of before. But so hosting events too is like using your natural talent and the natural abilities and your natural environment of your natural circles and everything that you're already doing, and incorporating that instead of trying to step outside of your comfort zone. But think of ways that you can incorporate what you have access to in your resources already. For me, in the past, it's been music events and art events, if anyone's involved in like cultural things, or it's whether it's water activities, but using your circles to create events around what your specific personal community is already doing and creating that awareness. And so if you can have musicians play or artists come in, and then they can even maybe donate, to have fun things like raffles, and have other organizations that are on the same mission as you, because we don't necessarily need to fundraise, but other people do. And just creating educational platforms where you can have different speakers and engage and create a community around things that people are already sparked with. So you're not trying to create something, you're not reinventing the wheel. So just making the most of what you have around you and getting creative with that. So you're already in your comfort zone is a way to go. So if you can organize events and do that sort of thing, I would highly suggest it. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Take the initiative. Thank you so very, very much. Any last round? Okay, so we're going to wrap this video up, and thank you all for your thoughts.